Hello and welcome to marketing91.com. Let's start with understanding conflict. By definition, conflict is a process that begins when one party perceives that another has or is about to negatively affect something that the first party cares about. Different perspectives of conflict can be classified into three categories: the traditional viewpoint, interactionist viewpoint, and resolution-focused viewpoint. The first conflict management perspective is the traditional viewpoint, according to which all conflicts are bad and harmful. A conflict is a sign of malfunction in the group. To avoid conflicts, managers must first identify their causes and then take steps to correct the situation. It is a dysfunctional outcome caused by poor communication, lack of trust and openness, and managers' failure to fulfill employees' needs and aspirations. The next is interactionist viewpoint, in which conflicts are viewed as a positive force that is necessary for a group to perform better. Conflicts are categorized as functional and dysfunctional. Functional conflicts, constructive in nature and result in improvement in performance. Dysfunctional conflicts, destructive in nature and hinder group performance. According to this viewpoint, there are three types of conflicts. Task conflict, which is related to the content and goals of work. Task conflicts at low or moderate levels are functional in nature. Relationship conflict, which is related to interpersonal relationships between people. They are usually dysfunctional in nature. And process conflict, which is related to how work should be done. Process conflicts at low levels are functional in nature. Let's understand the interactionist viewpoint with the example of Amazon, which believes that conflict brings out innovation. At Amazon, conflict is viewed as a constructive tool for good performance. Amazon believes that harmony is overvalued in the workplace. It can stifle honest critique and encourage polite praise for flawed ideas. Instead, Amazonians are instructed to disagree and commit, to rip into colleagues' ideas with feedback that can be blunt to the point of painful before lining up behind a decision. A top management executive at Amazon feels that it may be easier and socially cohesive to just compromise and not debate, but that may lead to the wrong solution. The last is resolution-focused viewpoint, according to which conflicts are considered inevitable, but the focus should be more on how they can be productively resolved. There needs to be focus on minimizing the negative and disruptive effects of conflicts. To understand this better, let's look at an example of Ashok Leyland. Ashok Leyland was facing an issue where its shop floor workers went to the trade unions when it came to solving a work problem or a conflict. To solve this issue, the company introduced a diploma in management program where students who had completed schooling got hands-on training in factories for 5 days and day-long classroom training on management strategies. A scholarship of Rs 5,500 was offered to the shortlisted employees. The objective of this program was to create a workplace where workers get trained on academic and manufacturing skills and face less work problems in the future. Moving on, the next part in this video is on conflict management. There are 8 ways of managing dysfunctional conflicts. The first way is through problem solving, that is, conflicting parties engage in face-to-face meetings for identifying and discussing problems. Next is superordinate goals. A shared goal is created in such a manner that it cannot be achieved without the two conflicting parties cooperating with each other. Expansion of resources. A win-win solution is created by increasing the availability of resources. Avoidance, that is, an individual withdraws from the conflict. Smoothing. It focuses on the common interests of conflicting parties and downplays their differences. Compromise. Each party in the conflict gives up something of value to them to reach a settlement. Authoritative command. Management takes charge of a situation and uses its authority to power and resolve conflicts. And lastly, altering human variables, that is, faulty attitudes and behaviors are changed through human relations training. Let's see how General Motors handled dysfunctional conflicts in the organization. Due to 2 consecutive years of workers' strikes, automaker General Motors set up a 3-tier dispute resolution committee to handle conflicts efficiently. Tier 1. Supervisors deal with problems faced by the workforce on a daily basis. Tier 2. If supervisors are unable to find a solution, the matter is reported to the Nerve Resolution Committee that consists of a group of supervisors who meet once a week. Tier 3. If the issue needs further intervention, it goes to the Central Nerve Resolution Committee that consists of top brass from factories who meet once in a month. Moving on, there are 3 ways of managing functional conflicts. The first way is by recognizing disagreements. Disagreements must be recognized and resolved by encouraging frank discussions focused on interest rather than on issues. Next is discussing differences. Opinions on which there are differences must be discussed openly to allow members to develop a common perception and move toward a mutually acceptable solution. The third way is by recognizing cultural differences. Recognizing cultural differences between the individuals and the managers themselves will help them effectively manage conflicts. The last is negotiation as a conflict management technique. Negotiation is a process in which 2 or more parties exchange goods or services and attempt to agree on the exchange rate for them. Behaviors and conditions for successful negotiations are: meeting at a neutral venue, absence of unwanted observers, mutually decided deadline for conflict resolution. Negotiators should come armed with factual data and information. They must pay careful attention to what is being said and how it is said. Negotiators should make concessions in areas that are less important to them. And lastly, participants should focus on the issue at hand and not on individual personalities. Thank you.